Okay, welcome to Project Shophouse. This is going to be the first video of a series building my shop house from the ground up. So far, we've got the lot. Bought this lot a few years ago, and we're just kind of getting everything prepped to get construction going. Started out by cutting in a driveway, adding the culvert. This driveway has 6-inch granite rock as a base on top of the clay, and then some road base, and we left kind of the tracking here to clear mud off tires during the construction process. Wanted kind of a rough cut driveway to begin with so we can have all the trucks roll over it. Concrete trucks, construction, any kind of vehicles will pack this down, expose any weak points, and then we'll fix it up from there before the final finish. This is about 5.5 acres, well and septic. I've got my son down there doing the final scarfacing of the drain field, so I'll show you some detail on that. This is a pretty sloped lot, so we're doing a walkout floor plan on the house. It'll be a shop and house combined, and we've got about a 46-foot elevation drop from the back, which is higher, all the way down to a culvert down at the bottom. Well, let's start the tour. So walking down the driveway here, we had to cut into this hillside to flatten out the driveway. The driveway location was picked based on the elevation. We wanted a relatively flat drive in, nice straight with just a single bend, and that'll go right to the shop side of the house. So we figured out where the elevation matched the house elevation, and we just cut it in straight along that elevation line. So we've got a little bit of a berm here on this side that'll grow back in, and we'll keep a swale here on the side of the driveway so the runoff will end up all collecting into one main drainage swale that goes through the lot. We've had to move quite a bit of dirt. Most of this dirt came from cutting out the septic soil treatment area. That area is 4 big drain beds that are into the hillside, so they're kind of tiered. We'll go over and take a look at that. I also cut in a parking lot over here on the side. This is kind of temporary use now, will end up being permanent. I'm going to put full RV hookups over here just for any guests or if we want to hook up over here like we are now. So that's kind of my temporary headquarters. I can stay the night if I need to. It's a pretty hot day right now, so actually the AC is run by the Cybertruck. Got my wife and kids out here today, so they're enjoying the RV, and it's nice and cool in there. I also have a storage trailer. This is where I can park my tractors, and I've got all the parts for the septic system over there, all of the chambers and PVC and risers and all that stuff. This is kind of where that swale comes in. I've got another culvert under the parking lot into the main swale that's original with just the lay of the land. So built another culvert here for the road, and that swale continues on down all the way down to the culvert at the lowest point of the lot, which goes under the road and continues on down. So we're doing this work as much as we can by ourselves. I got my dad helping me. He's kind of been my lifelong mentor, and it's great to work with him. He's as much a machine as the Bobcat is. So we started with this Bobcat A300. Great little unit, 2008. It's got almost 6,000 hours, runs like a top. The A300 is an all-steer unit, so it's got skid steer as well as all-wheel steering, just like the Cybertruck. So those 2 wheels counter steer, which is great because especially on these big balloon turf tires, it doesn't tear up the ground. So we can put a mower on the front of it and mow all the grass without doing a lot of damage. The house will be up towards the back of the lot. The back of the lot backs up to an equestrian easement, so there's a 15-foot easement that will leave open, and that goes throughout the subdivision. The subdivision is from the late 90s. This lot had not been built on before, And when they made the subdivision, it originally had an HOA, which all of the neighbors voted to dissolve. So it's no covenants, no HOA, but most of the neighbors are original. And they're just all really cool folks. And they kind of just keep each other in check. Everybody just kind of does the right thing. And it's a nice little spot. The house, which I'll do a video on all the house plans. They're all done by my wife. All of the design work and blueprints are built by my wife. This is the shop end. This will be the EV muscle car shop here on the end. And then we'll have a couple RV doors, a couple vehicle bays, and then the house. So from the top here down to the bottom stakes, it's an 11.5-foot drop, which is perfect because we're going to have 10-foot ceilings throughout. So 10-foot basement, 10-foot main floor, and then a vaulted second floor. The roof, which is these four corners that I've staked out, mark the far corners of the house. So it's about 180 feet with shop and house lengthwise, and about 65 feet widthwise. The doors will come in the broad side, so when you go into the shop door, it'll be a 65-foot depth. Roughly, that's the outside dimension, so a little less. We've kind of grubbed off the top here to get some of the vegetation off, but it grew back with a vengeance. If anybody needs any yucca plants, let me know. These are all new yucca plants since we carved off the top layer. They have a big root system, so even when you kind of pluck off the top, the roots are a real woody, stocky root that goes deep, and that is hard to get rid of. But all this will be over excavated and compacted because it's kind of an expansive soil, so I'm gonna make sure we have a nice base, get the compaction with the hydration into the soil so it will no longer expand or shrink, and we'll have a nice solid base. We're also gonna have a swale that goes across the whole back of the house, which will cut over to the original swale that goes through the center of the lot. And we also have a secondary swale over here, so I'm going to connect those two together to keep all the drainage off of the house. This swale kind of forms a Y, so there's a big V shape just down from where the house will be, where all the drainage collects as it goes into the culvert at the bottom. We've got our well drilled. This soil out here, I'm east of Denver, Parker area. The soil out here is just sand and clay. I haven't come across a single rock with any of the digging or excavating. So it's pretty easy to work with so far. We just have to worry about the expansive properties. So we drilled the well. This well goes down 535 feet, and it should put out about 20 gallons per minute. I think I've got at least 250 feet of water in that well. So good start to the water. And there's the drain field out there. With this clay soil, the percolation is pretty low. So this is almost the worst soil on the scale as far as a septic system goes. So we're gonna have a dosing system with the size of the house, the bedroom count. We needed a 750 gallon per day system. We only have 5 people, so 500 would have been fine, but if you're gonna have a basement like we are, you have to oversize it for future expansion. So we did that. So 750 gallons, but then I like overkill, so I went another 25%. So we're doing a 1,000 gallon per day system. That'll allow for maybe a secondary septic for the RV spot or an ADU. Who knows what the future brings. So I just thought I'd be prepared. And since I'm digging it, it's just a little bit more time. Or scratch that, since my son is digging it, it's just a little more his time. So the system will be a 2,000 gallon tank, 2-chamber tank, kind of over to the side of the house, and then a dosing tank, 540 gallon dosing tank with a pretty hefty pump. I think it's a 70 gallon per minute pump. It'll pump through a land bridge I'm going to make in the middle of the swale and go to a switching valve. So a non-potable switching valve well, the K-Rain 4000 series, and that will flood each bed one at a time. So every time it doses 125 gallons, it'll fill one bed. The next time it doses, it'll switch to the next bed, kind of a sequential. It's just a mechanical cammed valve that'll handle all that. In order to install the septic system, I had to go get certified with the county. So I took a test. It was a 4-hour test, but it's just based on the regs. And I read a lot of regs in my real job. So no big deal, just study up, take the test, open book. But you just want to do it right. So that's why I took the test. Then I had it engineered, and I'm just about ready to start assembling the soil treatment area. I don't have the septic tank set yet, because I don't know what the final elevation will be with the house. But I have a lot of leeway by having a pump system. I'm pumping a little bit uphill, and so it really doesn't matter where the septic tank falls, because the effluent will be pumped into the soil treatment area anyway. So what I'm going to do is finish out this drain field with all the chambers, and we got to connect all the pipes, drill all the holes, get it all the manifolds assembled and the switching valve. I can get that portion inspected, we can cover it up, and that'll just be waiting for us when we cut in the main tank and dosing tank. This is kind of walking down where the two swales connect. This is really the backyard. This is facing west, and we have a great sunset view. We actually have a couple mountain tops we can see looking west on the clear days. It's a little bit hazy today. So we've been mowing quite a bit to kind of find the contours of the land. We've pulled out truckload after truckload of yucca plants to try to get this to smooth out. We got lots of yuccas and cactus, but the full help of the family is kicking in. We got my 3 kids, wife, my dad. I got friends coming over today to help glue pipe and drill holes. Looking back this way will be the house. It'll have a walkout, a main floor balcony, and then upper level bedrooms as well. So walking through the swale here, then we'll go check out the soil treatment area. It's tiered. You can kind of see how they stair step from this direction here. It's a 14% slope, so we had to tier them in, but the bottoms of each drain bed have to be level. So we got the depth we needed, then we had some rain that kind of stirred it up, so we're all dried out now. We got the laser set up again, and so my son Wyatt is going back through and making sure it's laser straight, and we'll get these pipes glued together. Each one of these drain beds has 4 rows of chambers, and those chambers will go over 4 rows of PVC pipe. That's 1.5-inch pipe. We'll have a 5 30-seconds hole drilled every 4 feet, and with the 125 gallon dose and all of those holes drilled, it'll flood this entire bed evenly every time it doses. So it'll dose this bed, and then the next, and the next, and so on, and just repeat around. So 1,000 gallons per day would be dosing each one of these beds twice a day, because it's 125 gallons each. So we're getting pretty close here. He's going to get to the end, crawl back out. We'll start gluing the pipe, drilling the holes, setting them in the chambers, getting them all zip tied up in the chambers. The pipe sits at the top of the chamber domes and sprays upward, so it kind of just fills a void that'll be buried underground. That allows it to sink in, weep out the sides, kind of bleed up to the top, let all the roots of the grass and flowers kind of treat the effluent, and some of it will go down, but it doesn't drain down very well just because of the soil. We have a little bit of sand, but a lot of clay. He's pretty good on that little excavator. We got the E26 Bobcat. I had to fix on both the Bobcats. I had to fix the AC because it's pretty hot. It's over 100 degrees this week, but you can just work all day long with the cool air blowing. Pretty nice little units. I thought I would buy it, work it till we're done with the project and sell it, but we're all in love with these things, so we'll see. I might just keep them in the family. Maybe they'll be electric someday. Who knows? So that's where we're at. Project, shop house, Barndominium, shouse, EV muscle car shop, whatever you want to call it. This is where it's happening. I'm about a week away from getting the deflection information on the metal building we're using, so we can start getting the foundation engineered. These bottom stakes here, that's ground level, that's where it's going to be, but we have to over excavate, 5 to 10 feet to get some compaction going. We got to over excavate the top as well, but then the top will end up being 10 feet, roughly 11 feet above the bottom, so there'll be kind of a retaining wall, basement wall into the walkout level. Well, I hope you like the project. Lots more to come. This is going to be a long-term project. I'm going to take you through every step of the way. But we got a good head start, and I'll take you on a tour of the plans next time. See you later.